Hello. I think I'm on. I've sent my husband out of the room, so he's normally the one who does all this. Well, hello, good evening, everybody. Greetings from my living room in Dublin, in Ireland. Hope everyone is keeping well. It's a funny old time, but I just wanted to take this opportunity before we start to say I hope everyone's keeping well and safe. We're doing good here, trying to stay positive and just embrace the quality time that we're having together. People are saying hello. Hi. Hello from the Philippines. Hello. Very far away. Greetings from Egypt. Hello. Lovely. And Holland. Thank you so much for hopping on. So I'm just going to get started. So it is 8 o'clock in the evening here. And I took the opportunity to get glammed up because it's been a very long time. It's been nearly 2 months at this stage. So it's nice to have an excuse. And my husband just poured me a little gin and tonic. I am of age, so it's okay. And yeah, so let's get going. So I have some questions that you guys can ask me here, but I also have some questions that came up on the comments on Facebook, so I can answer them as well. So someone asked me this question, which I thought was nice, is what was it like being, that's actually Tracy Doran who just said hello there, hi. What was it like being in the audience at Johnstown Castle after so many years of being on stage? It was actually surreal. It was very strange, I have to say, but very nice. It was really lovely because it was such a great special. A little bit jealous because I was like, oh, it's such a good special. I really wish I was up there with the girls. But you know, I was in the audience, and Anto, my husband, was up there too playing the bagpipes, and actually his dad was too. He was up playing bagpipes. They had some extra bagpipers for the occasion, so it was lovely to see him up there too. And I was just sitting there as proud as punch with my baby in my belly, happy out, watching everybody that I love and care so much about, and watching a show that I care so deeply about, and I'm just so proud to see it doing so well. And it was a fantastic special, and the music was beautiful, and the girls were fab. So yeah, it was surreal, but lovely. Somebody else just said, oh, do I have any pets? I do have a pet. My first baby, my fur baby, Minnie. She's a Cavachon. She's a dog, Cavachon. That's a Cavalier King Charles crossed with a Bichon Frise. And she is she's actually up here. I think you can see her. She's in our wedding photograph. She was like our little flower girl. She's actually not here at the moment because she went to my mum and dad's house to stay when I went over to the States. So I went to the States at the beginning of March to do some shows with Celtic Woman. And by the time I got back, we were pretty much on lockdown. So she's been stuck in my not stuck. She's very well looked after over there. She's been in my parents' house ever since. So I really, really miss her. I just can't wait to see her, and obviously my parents. But yeah, she's my little baba. What else does it say here? If you could have one wish to be granted, what would it be? Well, I think at the moment what everyone is feeling is that I just wish this would all go away. I wish nobody was getting sick. I wish this could be sorted. I wish we could all give each other hugs. I wish Celtic Woman could go back and perform on stage. So yeah, that's what I would like to wish for. Stephen Carlson, are you going to keep performing with Celtic Woman? Yeah, I hope so. It's working really well for me at the moment. Obviously, you know, I have a daughter now. She's 1.5. So she really needs her mother and her father, because obviously we both used to tour with Celtic Woman, and that's how we met. And so at the moment I'm sort of the unofficial understudy, doing a bit of covering here and there, and I love it. It just works out so well because it means I get to go, I dip my toe in, I get my fix, see my girls, see everybody that I love dearly, work with them for a few days, and go home again then to my baby and my husband and just back to my life here. So yeah, please God, it'll work out that I can continue working, do some shorter stints, and but just not the big long ones. Someone actually just asked me there, how did I pick my daughter's name? So my daughter is called after my aunt Joni, and she passed away. It'll be It was 2 years this March actually. She passed away 2 years ago, and we were in the States on tour, and at the time I knew she wasn't well, and I'd made arrangements to go home, when the time had come when she passed. So we were in America. We actually found out on the tour that we were having a baby, and my auntie passed away the next day. So we just felt it was so apt that she had sent us this baby, and we felt that we had to just call her after Joni. So that's where that comes from. Someone said, would you like to get back into musical theatre? Yeah, that's a first love of mine. Absolutely. Musical theatre is where my heart is, and that's where I started. It's very difficult here, I suppose, in Ireland. There's not a lot. You'd kind of have to go back to London maybe, and that's not really where I am right now. I did that for a few years and I loved it, and it was the best time of my life. It was great, but I was younger then, and I think, things are different now. So I'd love to do some more in Ireland if the opportunities were to arise, but the opportunities in Ireland are quite few and far between, unfortunately. So yeah. Have you seen Come From Away? No, I haven't, and I actually would really like to. Please God, we'll all be able to be back in theatre soon, watching shows and enjoying these amazing shows that are out there. So we'll see. I'm not really sure. Sorry, someone's just saying, will you be at the same rescheduled celebration tour venues as you would have been this year? I'm not really. It's too early to tell. But please God, I would love to be out there next year and do a few shows. But it's a little bit too soon to tell, I think, for anything, unfortunately. Let me see. I really like your hair. Thanks. You wouldn't have said that this morning. What is your favourite place to sing? That's from Rob. Oh, sorry. Rachel, 11 years old, in Texas. Oh, hi, Rachel. My favourite place to sing, well, anywhere that I sing, I love, but obviously on stage. I suppose a venue. Some of the venues I've loved performing in. All the Fox theatres in America are beautiful. The Red Rocks, we've performed there. But one of my favourite places I've ever sang in is the Gaiety Theatre here in Dublin. It's a small traditional theatre, but it's so beautiful, and it has a special place in my heart. So that's one of my favourite places. Let me see. Oh, what was your favourite song during childhood? Oh, so my party piece was always "The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow," and it's actually a very apt song. I was actually singing it the other day to myself, thinking that it's quite appropriate at the moment, that song. Who does Joni take after? That's a good question. I think probably, well, looks wise, she looks like her daddy. I think that's very obvious. Yeah, I think her personality is probably going that way too. Unfortunately. Sorry, Anto. What else? Let me see. Do you know if there will ever be 5 Celtic woman members on stage in the future? Ooh, I don't know. Possibly. Anything's possible. I mean, there have been something like 15 members in total over 15 years. So who knows? Maybe there'll be 15 members one day. What is Celtic Woman for you? For me, what it means so much. Celtic Woman has brought me so much professionally, personally. My life is so different now than it was when I joined Celtic Woman. I remember when I joined Celtic Woman, I was living in the UK, and my life was very much there. I always wanted to come home, and Celtic Woman brought me home, and it brought me love, it brought me friendship, it brought me amazing life experiences. I got to travel. It means a lot. I don't know if there's one word that can sum it up. Any plans for an at-home version of 17 Weeks, 17 Songs? Toddler noises in the background, perfectly acceptable. Oh my God. I don't know, like, this was a very touch and go, even to get the Q&A done tonight. Trying to get Joni down in time and stick a bit of makeup on. I don't know if my nerves would be able for a 17 Weeks, 17 songs again. Who knows? We'll see. My husband's probably outside going, yeah, come on. He's always the brains behind everything we do. If you could sing a duet with any past or present Celtic woman, who would you want to sing with? Ooh, that's like asking me to pick my favourite child. I don't know. I think I love singing with them all. So I can't really answer that one. That wouldn't be very fair. How has motherhood changed you as an entertainer? Ooh, that's a good question. I suppose, in a way, initially it can feel like your confidence is knocked because you go through such a huge transition. But the best thing that ever happened to me was getting a call in October. Joni was 11 months old, and getting a call to say that Mairead had been taken ill, unfortunately, on the European tour. Was there any chance I could come out and cover just for 2 weeks and whatever, we figure out sort of logistics with Joni and whatnot in the meantime. But my initial reaction was, can I do this? Oh my God, can I actually get back up on stage again? Do I remember how to do this? So I would just think it was the best thing that ever happened, because I actually didn't have time to think about it. I just had to drop everything, learn everything in 3 days. I got a call on a Friday night, I was on stage Sunday night in Vienna. And actually somebody else asked this question earlier on. They were asking when I had to fill in for Mairead when she got sick in Budapest. How did I learn everything so quickly? Was there a CD that I could listen to? So the process normally, what happens is, most of us don't actually sight read. I think Mairead is the only one I think that I know of. Sorry now, maybe there are other girls, but the only one I know of that can actually sight read music is Mairead Carlin. And I lost my train of thought there. And so basically what happens is what Maeve does is she'll go in, and herself and the musical director, when they're putting the show together, they put the vocal arrangements together, all the music arrangements together, they'll come up with the vocal arrangements, and Maeve will actually record each girl's line in the studio, and it gets sent to us, so we learn then by ear. Well, that's how I learn by ear. So luckily that was all there, it was all down, and it was sent to me on the Friday, and I just listened to it. And it's funny how I was just thrown on Sunday, and the kind of original plan was, look, just do what you can do, just kind of get on there and do as many numbers as you can, and we can cut some numbers if we have to. But we ended up doing the whole show, nothing was changed, it was brilliant. And it's funny because I just think that was the best thing for my confidence, was just to be thrown on, because there was no time to doubt myself, there was no time to think about it. So I'm really grateful for that experience. Sorry, Mairead, not that I was grateful that you were unwell, but for that opportunity was great to kind of get back on the horse. And then it's funny because then when I was learning all the material for the 15-year celebration tour, just gone, and I was sort of learning my part for that, and then going on that first night, I was so nervous, and I'd had weeks of preparation, tons of time, but I had too much time to think, so I was way more nervous that time than when I had to go on back in October. So that's it. I think, and now back to the question, has it changed me as a performer? I think when you become a parent, I think there is something maybe that you don't, not that you don't care, but you have bigger fish to fry, you don't sweat the little things, I think. So I think getting on, and I think you just want to always do a good job. You always want to be the best version of yourself and do the best job you can do, because you want to make your little one proud. I don't know. So maybe it has changed me in that sense. Will you ever record from a distance? I'd love to record from a distance. Yeah, it was never recorded because I sang it on the last tour that I did, which was the Homecoming tour. And then the next year it was just all new music, and I was gone by then. So yeah, who knows, maybe. What was your favourite song from Ancient Land tour? Oh yes, that's the tour that I covered for Mairead. I loved, oh god, here, I can't think of the name of it now. What is that called? I should know. That's really embarrassing that I forgot the name of the song. Anyone remember? Yeah, I really loved that song actually. It was great fun. I loved all the dance movements as well. I can't remember. Follow Me. Thank you, Joseph. Oh, that's it. Follow Me. Come follow me. I absolutely loved that song. It was cool and it was funky. It had a bit of Gaelic in it. And I loved all the movements. And I got to dance with my bestie, Carol. And that's always great fun. Well, when I say I danced with him when we did the European tour, he basically just dragged me around the stage because I was still trying to learn stuff as I went along. Greetings from Donegal. Hi. You will need to bring the family to Doe Castle when visiting. Oh, that's so Doe Castle is in Donegal. My dad's from Donegal, and Doe Castle is very near there, and it's beautiful. Donegal is really beautiful. And I haven't brought Joni up there yet, but hopefully in the future when things settle down and we're allowed to travel again, we will we'll get up there. Please God. Neve Walsh. Hi Neve. I know Neve. She's a friend of mine. Sorry. Do you like Barry's tea? Yes. There's a bit of a Barry's Lines tea debate going on in Ireland. I think you're either a Barry's or a Lines. I think the girls have probably spoke about this loads of times before, but there is no other tea but Barry's tea. So sorry, just saying that. Will you ever sing The Water Is Wide on tour in the future? Yeah, so I sang The Water Is Wide on my first ever tour, which was the Believe tour, and I actually forgot about that song. What is your favourite costume? Do you know what? I had the most beautiful dresses for the 15-year celebration, and I got to wear them twice. They were really stunning. I have to say, I do love every costume I think that we have been given. We've been so lucky, and they're always, made with us in mind and our style and our taste. So we're always very comfortable in them, very happy to be wearing them, and they're always beautiful. And we've been very lucky the last few years. Rona our producer has been designing them, and she's just got such a flair and such a talent for fashion. So we've been very lucky in that sense. My 7-year-old wants to know how old she has to be to audition for Celtic Woman and how tall she has to be to fit into the dresses. I guess I didn't see that last word, but I guess that's what it is. Well, I think 7 might be a bit young. You should probably stay in school and do your homework when you're 7. But I think you'd probably want to be 18, because otherwise your mother will have to go with you, and I'm sure she wouldn't be too happy about that. But keep singing, keep practicing, and maybe when you are 18, you can come and audition for us. That'd be lovely. Is there a place you would like to travel to that you have not been before? Yeah, I'd actually love to go to New Zealand. We've been to Australia loads of times now, and every time that's come up on the schedule for tour, there's always been talk of possibly getting to New Zealand this time, and it never happened. It just never worked out. Logistics never worked out. And a few times now that we have gone to Australia, myself and Anto have always said we'll try and tag on, either go before the trip or go after the trip. And it just never worked out because our schedules just didn't work, because we had to either be back in time to go off on another tour or for rehearsals. So we never got there. And my cousin actually lives in Wellington, and I'm really desperate to get out there and see her. But I think it'll be a long time now before we actually do get there. Might have to wait till Joni's a bit older. I don't think we'd be doing that journey with a baby. So that's one place that I would love to go to. Do you play any instruments besides singing? Okay, that's actually an interesting question. So I don't play an instrument, and I've always wanted to learn and just never gotten around to it. And my husband surprised me the other day. He ordered me a guitar, and it came. And I started doing online lessons last night, and it's only been one day and my fingers are so sore. So if anyone out there plays the guitar, can you tell me, does that pain go away, or is it just like, do your fingers toughen up? But so I've no excuse now. I have my own guitar, so I have to learn, and I'm saying it now on here, so I have to actually stick to it, and I have to like see it through. But it's a lot harder than it looks. So yeah, it's only been a day, but look, we'll give it a go. Somebody just asked me who would I like to play in Wicked, Elphaba or Glinda. I mean, they're both amazing parts, and it's an amazing show. I actually auditioned for Glinda years ago, just before Celtic Woman, and I didn't get it, obviously, because I'm a Celtic Woman. But but I always felt I would love to play Elphaba, because vocally I love her songs, and you know, she gets to belt and all that, and it's a cool character. But I was always just seen as a Glinda, even though I don't vocally fit into that role. They just kind of go, oh, she looks like a Glinda. So yeah. Oh, someone just said you'll get calluses and it'll stop hurting soon. Okay, so they kind of probably go like your fingertips go hard, it gets numb. Okay, I think I was actually devastated because my husband was like, okay, so now you know you can never have your nails done now again, they're gonna have to stay short. So but I don't mind, it'd be worth it to be able to play and sing. That'd be so nice. That's all I've ever wanted to do, just to be able to accompany myself. So so we'll see, we'll give it a go. I'm gonna try and stick to it. So putting an hour aside every evening once Joni goes to bed. So yeah. Will you ever rejoin Celtic Woman? Well, I've never really left, I suppose. Like, it's not a cliche when we do say once Celtic Woman, always Celtic Woman. Like, look at myself and Chloe, like we've gone, come back. So yeah, I'm gonna try and pop in and out as much as I can, please God. Do you have a favourite song or performance from one of your Celtic Woman sisters? Oh, I see. Sorry, I know what that question is now. So, okay, let me think. Oh, there's so many. I actually loved when Ava and Mairead did Black is the Colour from Destiny. I always loved that. And, God, like, where do I think? I used to love then Ava did Saivni Vrinla, which is a Shano song, and I used to always, actually how it started was she used to sing it in, we would do it like in like the bar, you know, there'd be a session and there'd be a sing song and Ava would sing this song, and I used to always say to her, sing that song, and then it got put in the show, and it was a solo, and I used to love it, I used to love watching her do it, and then it became a group song, and I was like, oh my God, life is made, I get to sing it. So with her, and you know, with Mairead, and it was great. So yeah, I mean, there's obviously loads of performances, but yeah, they're just a couple. Have you ever gotten emotional on stage after a song? Yeah, there's been lots of occasions, you know, where there could be things going on, you know, in the world around us or in our own personal lives, where you might sing a song and it would really bring up the emotions, like, you know, the Parting Glass obviously is a real one. I used to always kind of get a bit emotional singing You Raise Me Up when I'd be on tour and feel quite homesick and miss my mum, because it always made me think of my mum. Yeah, like right now. So yeah, don't get me emotional. How old is your baby? Because you were cradling the Build-A-Bear we gave you in Springfield. Oh, my baby is 18 months. Well, she's nearly 18 months. Could you tell us a little about how your audition to Celtic Woman was? So back in 2012, so 8 years ago, I got a call from Dave Kavanagh, who was he was the producer of Celtic Woman. He was the brainchild of Celtic Woman. He has sadly passed away since, but he called me completely out of the blue and asked me would I meet him to discuss maybe being in Celtic Woman. And I, at the time, was just after finishing doing Legally Blonde, the musical in the West End, and I was sort of auditioning, feeling a little bit lost, and it was literally like this call came at just the right time. It was like faith, totally faith. And so Lisa Kelly was leaving to have her fourth child, and she and Chloe had actually kind of recommended me, because I worked with Lisa years ago. I knew Chloe from when we were kids. So they were the ones who actually put my name forward. So Dave rang me and said, will you come in and we'll chat? So I met him, in the Four Seasons, and we had a coffee, and it was lovely. I thought, this is lovely. Don't get this in London. And yeah, we had a great chat. He was just lovely, and I just got a really good feeling about it. And I knew that this was something I wanted to be a part of. I really wanted to come home. I really wanted to work with Irish people again. I'd been away from home for quite a while at that point. So yeah, and then I went in about a week or two later, and I met David Downs, and I sang a bit for him in his studio. It was very casual. There was no one kind of else there. It was just me and him, just sat around singing at the piano. And yeah, and then a few days later, I just got a call saying, yeah, so what do you think? Do you be happy to go ahead? And I was like, yeah. And the rest is history, as they say. What's your most hilarious show memory? Oh God. Oh my God, there's probably so many. I'm trying to think. There's been a few wardrobe malfunctions. I can't even think now. I bet if I was talking to Carol, he'd come up with a few. Yeah, there's been a few moments where I'm the worst person for getting giddy and getting the giggles. And you know, there's always it's always an inappropriate moment when you shouldn't. There was one time I actually couldn't contain a sneeze, and it was in Amazing Grace, you know, very serious song. And at the time, the way the set was, there was like a kind of a circular bit in the middle where the piano was sort of just down, and there was like a raised platform around it. And the only place I could hide my sneeze was just to turn around and sneeze, and I sneezed on top of poor Brian McGrain, and it was like I couldn't stop laughing. But like in retrospect now, terrible thing to do, terrible thing to happen. But at the time, it was just because it's so inappropriate. You always have to laugh. But anyway, what was the first song you sung professionally? Okay, so when I was 7, I did The Wizard of Oz. I was a Munchkin in the Olympia Theatre here in Dublin, and actually Alex Sharp was Dorothy. So it was a long time ago, very, very long time ago. So I was one of the Lullaby Leagues, and they came out and they were like, we represent the Lullaby Leagues. So I was one of them. So that was my first professional paid gig. I was 7. So yeah. If not Celtic Woman, what other types of music would you consider doing? Well, musical theatre, I suppose, is the only other thing I've ever done. Because I suppose I'm not an artist. I don't write music. I don't create music. I suppose I'm more of a performer. You know, I suppose I'm just more of maybe a person who acts and sings, more than sort of a creative type, I guess, maybe. Why do you wear your wedding rings on your right hand? I actually don't. That's my left hand. It's just because I'm on my iPad and it's flipped. It just, everything's back to front. So it's on my left hand, don't worry. Hi Michael Duffy, he's in Swords. Greetings from Swords. Hi neighbour. Do you ever get really bad stage fright? I actually only spoke about this to somebody on a podcast the other day. No, and I'm afraid to nearly say that, touch wood. No, I haven't actually, thank God, but it's an awful thing for anyone to suffer from or to get, because it's crippling, it really is. And I know people that have had to leave jobs and stuff because they've been crippled by this, and it's a psychological thing more than anything, you know. Well, it's completely psychological, but I have had a few moments where I've had like a brain fart, like where I've been on stage and I'll be coming up to, like, you know, it might be a little musical break coming up into the next verse or chorus, and if I start thinking about what the next words to come are, I forget them. So this has happened to me a few times where I've just gotten like a little bit of an issue, and I'm going, oh my God, like it's happened to me again tonight. I've forgotten the words. I've sang this song like 500 times, like in a row now. So a few times that's kind of happened to me where I've just gotten a bit of a thing. But after a few nights, it's kind of, I just never let it kind of take over. But no, I have never been crippled with stage fright that I couldn't go on stage, thank God, because that's just an awful thing to happen. How long have you been with Celtic Woman? So I started in 2012, and then I took time out from 2018 when I had my daughter, and now I'm just sort of dipping in and out. So kind of been there since 2012, I guess. What's your favourite thing that Joni does? Oh God. Let me think. She started doing this really cute thing, and she just kind of, it's like she's trying to talk. So she'll come up and she's like, and it's very cute. And then she kind of thinks she's hilarious, and then she starts doing her little like fake laugh. But yeah, it's very sweet. Which Celtic woman singer do you feel you have learned the most from? Oh, that's interesting. I think everyone has their own sort of unique talents and their own attributes to lend to Celtic woman. I look up to all of them for different reasons. I think I've learned a lot about maybe confidence and presence from Chloe. I think Mairead, she has a great poise and an elegance about her that is admirable and something that I admire. And Ava, I'm just going from the girls that I've sort of worked with most recently. Ava always just had a sense of calm about her, and just a natural talent, a very natural ability about her. And I suppose they're the things that I admire and would try and maybe, grasp onto from the girls. And maybe, I think it's great. I remember when I was like in the UK, in London, working in musicals and working in shows, I always wanted to work with people that I could learn something from, that I could grow from, and really like get experience from working with them. And I always like try and remember that too as a performer, to try and always like put your best foot forward, because maybe someone, I don't know, might learn something from you. Let me see. Oh, Celtic Woman does the best rendition of Amazing Grace. Well, I guess that's probably a lot got to do with my husband playing the bagpipes. What was your favourite song to cover from 17 Weeks, 17 Songs? She used to be mine. Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that was my favourite too. I absolutely loved singing that. It's just such a gorgeous song. It's such a brilliant song from a brilliant musical, and it's from a musical, so I really felt at home and in my element when I was doing that. So that's good. Why do you think people connect so strongly with Celtic women's music? I'm just going to take a sip of my gin and tonic because it's been sitting there getting warm. So I think people connect, because Irish people have sort of spread themselves, over hundreds of years, to all corners of the globe. And I think the music tells stories. It tells stories of loss, stories of hope, of emigration. And I think that's what people connect to, because especially when we go to the States, there's so many people there with Irish heritage or are Irish. We meet people who got on a plane or a boat or whatever it was 50, 60 years ago and never came back. And when they come to our shows, it really strikes a chord with them. It brings them right back. It gives them, they're in touch with their heritage and where they've come from. And it's really nice to know that you can be a part of that connection, and you can help them make that connection. So I think that's what a lot of it has to do with. I think so. Have you ever had any interest in the violin? Do you know what? When I was really little, I wanted a violin. I think I asked Santa Claus for one year, and I didn't get it. So who knows? I could have been the Celtic fiddler, not a Celtic singer, if it wasn't for Santa Claus. What would you want? A field of clovers or a field of gold? Field of gold. So you could just scoop it all up and then cash it in. Alana wants to know, my best friend Jen Kilriley. Alana wants to know what your favourite song is to sing. Sorry if you've already been asked. Let me think. I don't know. Well, I think when I was in Celtic Woman, I actually, from a distance, was, even though I actually sang it quite late into my time with Celtic Woman, it was my last year. I absolutely love that song. And it's funny, Mairead Carlin said that to me from like day one. She was like, you should sing from a distance. I think like that song would be perfect for this show, and it'd be perfect for you. And when it came about that I got to sing it at the end, I absolutely was so delighted. And I think Gavin Murphy did a beautiful arrangement on it as well. And I remember saying to them at the time, I was like, can I have a mic stand? Can I just stand and sing? Because I just wanted that moment to stand and sing a song and not have to worry about, I need to walk over here and I need to make sure I walk over there. And just wanted to stand still and sing a song that I loved, that I connected with. Bette Midler sang it, and she's like one of my idols, so I always kind of had her in my head when I was like singing it and when I was kind of learning it. So yeah, would you want your daughter to play an instrument? Well, I think if my husband has anything to do with it, she's not going to have a choice. Like, we have a music room and it has a guitar, 2 guitars, a drum kit, bagpipes, small pipes, tin whistles. What else do we have out there? Keyboard. So yeah, she's going to have a choice. But yeah, I'd love her to play something. Don't know whether I'd want her maybe necessarily to follow in my footsteps, because I just think I don't want to have to worry and have sleepless nights like I know my mother has about me, about worrying about me being off on tour and worrying about, you know, the instability sometimes that, you know, being in the entertainment industry can have. I don't know whether I'd want that kind of worry, but I'd love her to have a passion for it and play something for fun, definitely. So let's see. Oh, thank you. Have you considered making a CD of your own, not with Celtic Woman? God, well, I think like I said before, I don't write music. I don't make music. I think if I did, I would definitely try and make a CD or something, but I think for that reason, that's the reason I've never kind of thought about it. But it's never say never. Yeah. Sorry, people are kind of asking me some of the same questions. A lot of people asking about the CD. Hello from New York. Oh, I hope you're safe and well. New York is me and Anto's favourite city. We're actually due to go there in March, but obviously with everything going on, but we will be there again someday soon. Turn your microphone volume up. Oh God, I don't even know how to do that. Maybe turn your volume up. I don't know. Hi Vienna, Austria. What is your favourite song? I've answered that. Will you be returning to the group for the next album? Who knows? There hasn't been any sort of plans for a new album yet. Everything is on hold at the moment, like everything, as I'm sure you understand and as I'm sure you know. So yeah, I'd love to be, but who knows? We'll see. What would you what would you do if Joni was to become a Celtic Woman? I'd be delighted. It'd be brilliant, following in her mammy's footsteps. Which Disney princess are you? God, maybe I'll get Tara to answer that one. Well, I've played Cinderella in pantomime, so maybe her. Will you be returning tour with Celtic Woman next year? Like I said, a little bit too soon. Where was your last Celtic Woman show in 2018? It was actually in Rosemont. I was trying to think of the name. I knew it began with or. Rosemont, Illinois, so near Chicago. And yeah, I remember it really well. It was a very emotional day. That's one of the times where I did cry on stage after singing a song. Yeah, I actually have played there. We played there a lot, like. But yeah, it was a sad day, but you know, happy too. Obviously, we were coming home. We were about to embark, you know, on a new journey. And so it was exciting, but yeah, a good time too. Now that you're a mum, what's your favourite kid movie? See, she won't actually sit and watch a movie, like, you know, she's too young. But we've sat down, we've tried to get her to watch like The Lion King and stuff, because that's that's our favourite kind of Disney movie and stuff, so we tried to get her to watch that, but she's like, nah. The only thing she will watch is The Wiggles. They're like this Australian kids TV show, and what is good is that it's all singing, all dancing. So, you know, we're in the sitting room, our living room, TV on, and I'm getting a great workout because at this stage I know all the lyrics, I know all the dance moves. So we just have a bop around the living room, and she absolutely loves it. Someone just asked, is it stressful being at home? No, it's not stressful. Like, you know, this is my home, so, you know, this is where I'm happiest, and I'm with my husband and I'm with my daughter. So what is stressful is not seeing my parents, not seeing, you know, Anto's parents and his family as well, and that's really difficult, and not knowing when it's going to be okay or safe to see them again. That is stressful. And yeah, and then, you know, obviously it would be nice maybe they could come over and take Jodie for an hour and kind of give us a little bit of a break. That's kind of what would normally happen, you know, throughout the week, and that's sort of gone. So but I wouldn't say being at home is stressful, but I think all of that is stressful. Have you or any of the group put on the wrong dresses between songs? Yeah, I think there's been a few times where we have a dress, like the Kaylee dress we call it, so we put it on for like some of the, you know, normally the end of Act 1 has an up-tempo song, so like Ballroom of Romance Day was the last one that we would have done. And yeah, there's been a few occasions. I remember me and Ava actually did it once, and Ava's a lot taller than I am, and I don't know who got dressed first, but anyway, I remember going out on stage and thinking, this is very long. Like, what is going on? I was tripping up on myself, and then I looked over at Ava, and like it was like biting her ankles. So I was like, oh, okay, I get that's what's wrong. So yeah, because they're all exactly the same, it's easier to happen. Somebody just asked me there, will my daughter learn Gaelic? Yeah, I really hope so. We've actually enrolled her into an Irish-speaking primary school, so everything will be done through like Irish, like, you know, all her lessons. So which will, you know, be tricky for me and Anto because we don't really speak great Irish. But I suppose we'll have to learn too, so it'll be good for all of us. So fingers crossed she gets it, because that would be nice. Someone asked, what is my favourite part of the symphony tour? Symphony tour was my absolute, like, favourite time of year. I absolutely just adored the symphony tour. Different orchestra every single day, the music, Christmas music. And actually my favourite Christmas song to perform as part of Celtic Woman with the orchestra was It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. I just absolutely loved singing that. Big orchestra, big moment. I just loved it. Yeah, there was, and I think it's just such a special time of year, Christmas. So there was always that excitement. You know, there was always that excitement in the air. Everyone was great energy. There was a great camaraderie. It was a smaller group than is normally on. Like when we go on the big spring tour, there's like 30 people, and then, you know, when we go on the symphony tour, it's like 6 people, or, you know, thereabouts, or something. 10, not 6, like 10 people or something. A very small group. So that's kind of nice, you know, everyone really gels. So yeah, I think, yeah, I miss symphony. I'd love to do another symphony tour. Are you proud of your country's health workers fighting against COVID-19? Absolutely. I think Ireland are absolutely playing a blinder on this whole pandemic. And, you know, I think we will be forever grateful for the work they're doing. And I hope when this is all over that the government recognises that and looks after them the way they should be looked after. So there you go. Oh, thank you. Are you team Godzilla or King Kong? I actually haven't seen either, so maybe I should put them on my list. What was your favourite dance to song? Okay, a up-tempo song maybe for Celtic Woman? Ballroom of Romance maybe. That was great fun. Of all the kind of up-tempo ones that we've done, I just have so much fun in that. Does your husband play pipes for Celtic Woman? Yes, well, he did. So Anto Byrne, Celtic piper, he was actually there like before I was. So he was there from, I think, 2010 or 2000. He was there about 2 or 3 years before I joined. yeah, so he was there a very long time. So it was a very big decision for the two of us to kind of to leave, to go. So yeah, that was a tough decision because it was a big part of both of our lives. So yeah, so that's him. What is your favourite movie? Ooh, what is my favourite movie? I think it has to be Dirty Dancing of all time. I said this to Anto actually recently, and he's like, I've never seen it. So I was like, right, we have to do it. We have to do it. Favourite must-have American food? Let me think. What did I like in the States? Okay. Oh, Cheesecake Factory. I like going to the cheese, and not for the cheesecake, just for the food. Like this massive menu. It's like a Bible full of food. So yeah, I do miss actually the Cheesecake Factory. When you replaced Maureen when she was sick, how was your return to the group? Amazing. It was like I never left. Everyone was just so supportive, so wonderful. They always are, you know. So yeah, that was great. Favorite Irish singer? Ooh, God. Mary Black. How do you take care of your voice when you're on tour? Okay, yeah. That's a tough one because we do a lot of shows and we do a lot of traveling. So the shows is actually not the hard part, it's the traveling that's really tough because we finish the show, we get straight on a tour bus. Air conditioning is the enemy of anyone who has to sing. So yeah, we get in and we have to, like, you know, turn on all the humidifiers. Our bus driver is always cracking up with us because we blow the fuse because we've so many things running at once. But we have to, and you know, we're kind of hanging wet towels inside our bunk and whatnot. But yeah, we it's really tough. So you know, no really going out late nights drinking. So a lot of the time we're sort of, when I toured with my husband, you know, obviously he didn't have to worry about his voice, so there was many nights where I'd be waving him off, you know, on a night off or something if I wasn't feeling vocally great and I needed to rest. It was like, okay, bye, go have fun, and see you tomorrow. So yeah, like a lot of sort of resting, vocal rest when you can, steaming, humidifiers, just no fun, basically. Yeah, so it's quite stressful. I remember the first time Anta was in Pittsburgh. Oh, he played, yeah, Anta used to actually play in front of the venue, in front of house during or after the show and before the show, I think it was. Have you read any books during quarantine? Currently reading The Alchemist. Oh yeah, I've heard that's good. I actually have started, yeah, I used to love reading, and then just like, you know, since having Joni, time doesn't really allow for reading. So I've started now kind of getting into bed at night with my Kindle and reading a little bit more. So I've actually started, like there's a series of books in Ireland that are very popular called Oh What a Complete Aisling. Very Irish. I think you have to be probably Irish to get the humour, but they're very funny and they're just the perfect book to read at the moment, because I think at the moment we need escapism, we need happiness, we need lightheartedness and just something funny just to make you giggle and to take your mind off all the sad stuff that's going on at the moment. So these books are just perfect. I'm on the third one now, there's 3 and I'm nearly finished the third. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading at the moment. So when I finish that now, I actually need something else. So if anyone can recommend some nice, happy, easy reading, you know, nice chick lit would be great. Please. Have you tried poutine while in Canada? Yes. So our old makeup artist Amy Murphy never stopped going on about, we have to get poutine when we go to Canada, and I didn't know what she was talking about. Anyway, got to Canada, had the poutine, and it was amazing. So what is your favourite vacation spot? Sorry, I'm just going to have another sip while I think about far off sunny places. So, place I always wanted to go to and went to there a few years ago, backpacking, me and Anto, was Thailand. and that was just one of the most amazing experiences of my life. It was just amazing. We just had such a great time. We didn't book anything in advance, we just got there, travelled around, so that it was ticked off the bucket list. But my favourite place where we go a lot, and we go nearly every year. We were actually due to go this September. It was going to be our first time to bring Joni there, and we were so excited about it, but it's not looking like we're going now. But it's a place in Spain, in the Costa del Sol. I think loads of Irish people know of it. It's called Nerca. Very popular, gorgeous place, beautiful beach, love it. So that is my favourite place to go on holidays. Does your husband play Ireland or Highland pipes? Okay, he doesn't play Ireland pipes. I don't know what Highland pipes are, but he plays the bagpipes and the small pipes. I don't know. Yeah, but he plays the bagpipes. Do you typically sing along with music you're listening to? I try, but I never know the words, so I just make them up, basically. But yeah, I do. We have the radio on here pretty much all day in the house at the moment, just have it on in the background, and love just singing along, but making up all my own words. Someone just said, who's the biggest prankster with Celtic Woman? Ava McMahon. Loves to scare everybody. You'd be walking into the dressing room and she's like hiding in a wardrobe and jumps out at you. So yeah, definitely Ava. So yeah. How did Anto propose? So it was New Year's Eve 2016, 17, like that, New Year's Eve. And we were having like a big party in his parents' house, and there was loads of people coming, like with a big marquee out in the back and all of Anto's family were over from America. I had family over from Australia for Christmas, so we were all having a big kind of like a family kind of get together for New Year's, and like loads of friends and all were coming, and everyone was going, I bet he's going to propose. And I was like, no, I was like, he's not going to propose, because like, why would he do that like in front of everybody on New Year's Eve? And then everyone was sort of going on about it so much. I was like, well, if he was gonna do it, he's definitely not gonna do it now. So anyway, cut to like the countdown, midnight, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, he was like, got down on one knee and proposed, and it was actually really nice. And it was really nice to have everyone there. On paper, that would have been my idea of a nightmare. I would have been mortified, but actually, reality of it was really lovely and really special. And a friend of Anto's mum was there that night, and he's a professional photographer, and he was just snapping away throughout the night, and he got the whole thing, and he got everyone, because Anto didn't have anybody. Like, he told his brother, best friend, nobody knew. He kept it completely to himself. So I think that's why everyone was really shocked. So yeah, and it was really nice. So we have everything, all the photographs of that night. It was really, really, really nice. So I think Anto is the best bagpipe player on the planet. I read that out just to make him happy. He'd be delighted with that. Is your hubby home? He is home. I think he's in the kitchen. I banished him into the kitchen. So yeah. So I've been on here now for an hour, and I think I should probably say good night. I've probably bored you all enough. Thank you so much for coming on here and for your questions. I'm so sorry if I didn't answer your question, or I didn't see your questions, because the questions are going up so quickly, so I'm so sorry. But thank you so much, and thank you everyone who maybe was watching the Instagram story today as well, because I'm not great at all that. If you follow me on my own Instagram, you'll see I hardly ever put stuff up. I'm trying to get better. So yeah, it was nice to be able to do that today, and it's nice to feel connected to people at the moment with everything going on. So yeah, thank you so much. Let's do it again soon. Stay safe, mind yourself, and let's hope that we're all in a room together again really soon, celebrating Celtic Woman, music, and everything that goes with it. Okay, good night, bye.